This is Mareli Scott, your authenticity host, and I'm back for episode 8, Your Authentic Heart, with Marina Nani. And welcome, Marina.
Wow, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, maybe, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this amazing space because God is here to show us the mirror, to show us where to show us to look inside. And you know what? She's only 4 episodes away from publishing her first book. The simple truth about your authentic self. Great conversations with Mareli Scott. Over to you, Mareli.
Awesome. So the word is out. I'm very
Breaking
excited for
news.
that. Yes, very excited for that. So let's get going. So, like I said, today we're talking about your authentic heart, and last week we talked about your authentic voice, which is also very important. But your heart is the center of who you are. That's the center of every human being. That's your core. And if your heart can be authentic, then your life and everything will be authentic. That's what I believe. And um, let me start off by asking you, who is listening to this, I want to ask you, do you believe that you are destined for greatness? It sounds like an easy question, maybe, or it might seem uncomfortable to you, but I want you to really think about it. If you believe that you're destined for greatness. And in order for you to believe that or think about that, I want you to block out what's going on in your life at the moment, block out in which situation how you feel at this moment, or what happened in the past. Block all of that out and just answer this question to yourself. Because I believe that every person is destined for greatness. And it's up to you to discover that greatness that you already have inside of you. And you will know it and you will feel it in your heart when you discover that. And the second question I want to ask you is, do you believe that you deserve to be successful? Um, I think there are so many of us who sometimes self-sabotage ourselves almost. Or we think in order for us to be successful, live a successful life, we need to do this, or, be an expert in time management, and you need to be an expert in this and that. But even if you don't know that yet, can you answer this to yourself? Do you believe you deserve to be successful? And the same as with the previous question, I want you to ignore what happened in the past. Maybe you had a business that failed, or you're struggling at the moment. Um, Forget that. You deserve to be successful. And with success, um, I mean different things. I believe it means different things to different people. I'm not necessarily talking about money. Success for me is everything all into one, every aspect of your life. For me, it's freedom, it's fulfillment, it's feeling content and happy where I am. And building a legacy and living my purpose. That for me is success. For other people, it's different things. So ask yourself that. And remember that, all the people you look up to, all the highly successful people, your role models or our heroes and legends, none of them were born that way. Nobody was born a celebrity or a successful person or a legend or a rock star, whatever they may be. Nobody was born that way. Everybody was born a little baby, and that's it. But you have to believe whatever you want to achieve in life, you first have to believe that you can do that. Doesn't matter what you know at this moment, doesn't matter what tools you have at this moment, you need to believe it first in order for it to happen. And if you don't believe in yourself, who is going to believe in you? And this also applies to business. I mean, if you don't believe in the service that you're delivering or your product, how are you going to make other people believe in it? And it sounds strange, but it's sometimes so difficult for us to believe in our own things and believe in ourselves. Um, I've talked to a lot of people, and I've also experienced this, that it's easier sometimes to um, like market someone else. And I talked to Louise Shaw also about this the other day. It's so much easier sometimes to market someone else than marketing yourself and believing in yourself. And I think it's because we are so afraid of rejection. So if we feel like if we believe in ourselves, or if we believe in someone else and we market them, then if they reject the product or whatever that's from someone else, then you don't feel the rejection. It's for that person. But when it comes to ourselves, it's very personal, and it can get very difficult. And we all know the saying, if my mind can, I think it goes, if my mind can perceive it and my heart can believe it, I can achieve it. And this is really true. We always hear this, but are we really applying this in our lives? Are we really realizing that this is how it works? Anything you want in life, doesn't matter where you are at this moment. If you want something, you need to be able to see it first, but most in your mind's eye and envision it. But more importantly, you need to believe it before it will happen. Whatever is going on in your heart flows through your body, if you think about it. Over to you, Marina.
Wow, Mareli, great questions. I love your questions. The first one, are you destined for greatness? Absolutely, yes. And furthermore, you know what I've done, Mareli? I decided to make no plans and to make myself available for greatness.
Wow.
Second question, do you believe you are destined to be successful? Well, I believe that success is your birthright. I mean, there is no question. There is no doubt. There is no, who is there to tell me that success is not on my birth certificate? Who is there to tell me that I wasn't born for success? You know, I mean, you are so right. Success means so many things to so many different people. And you're talking about your vision that starts in your mind. And I know this is true. Everything happened twice. First in your mind, and then you turn that into your dream, your vision, into reality, because nobody else can. You are the only person who can see that in your mind. But now, here it comes. I have, in my own experience, discovered that everything happens in your heart first. When you put your heart to it, your mind will go for it, your soul will go into the tiniest corner, the darkest corner of your mind, and light it up. And I think that's the secret to success. And you see, I don't know, I love smiling with no reason. I love laughing at myself if there is nothing else. But I allowed my heart to smile. You see, because when my heart smiles, that comes through my eyes. And that's the energy I bring into the world. And sometimes, I don't know if you ever tried to look at somebody and see them and see what's happening in their heart. Because I don't think you can see what happens in other people's mind. I think that's mission impossible. But if you look at their eyes, you feel their heart. And I know you got to the logistic of this topic, and it's so well structured and it's so clear, and I can see your passion. You know, I can see that it's so much divine work going in your heart, and that is going to your mind and creating this structure. your clients, your students, I know you have lots of pro bono clients, but I think it's time for them to start paying for your time to allow you to serve other people as well. And I can see that you keep nothing but love in your heart. And this makes life so much better. Only when I think of you, I feel like smiling, and I'm
Wow.
thousands of miles away. And people ask me, why, in England, people ask you, what are you smiling at, with no reason. And then I tell them, I think of somebody, or I mention about something else, or little things. And I can see how beautiful that is for total strangers to hear that I can smile and be happy just thinking of somebody I admire so much. And you are right. You really need somebody in your life who inspires you. And you need to grow into that person who actually could deliver their own inspiration. But it's a long journey, it's a very painful journey. However, I think that the more you see that greatness in your heart, the faster it grows. And when it comes to other people opinion about your heart, I heard that many times that I'm giving too much, or that sort of stuff. I'm thinking, I really don't care. I can't help it. I have it in my heart, and it's so much of it that is never going to end. It's actually the opposite. The more I give, the more I feel is coming. I don't know from where, but it's coming from my heart or through my heart. Over to you, Mareli.
Wow. Thank you for the lovely words and wisdom that you share with us. And it's really true. Like you said at the end as well, we we won't understand why, but it just works like that. The more you give, the more you will receive. And but you also can't give from an empty heart. If you don't have something in your heart or passion in your heart, then you can't inspire other people. And on this subject, I think it's very important to be careful of what things we allow into our heart and to what seeds we allow to grow in our hearts. Because if we, for example, if we hear something over and over and over again, you can allow it into your heart. If you don't deal with it, or it's in your mind and you don't deal with it, it can get to your heart, and you must deal with that before it does, before it gets to your heart. And so it's important, and Marina, I think you do that very well, because you are also just your heart is full, you're just a bundle of joy and happiness, and so inspiring and energetic. So I think you're doing that very well. So if you have issues that you still need to deal with from the past, if you don't deal with it, you can carry hatred in your heart, or regret, or anger, or resentment, or even jealousy. If you focus on other people, and maybe you wanted a position in a company and you thought you are going to get that, and you didn't, and someone else gets it. Don't let jealousy get into your heart, and greed is also one of those things. Only allow positive things in your heart. Decide, like you said, smile from your heart and decide that you want to be happy, and deal with those things, and so your heart can be clean, and there's only space for good things to grow, and that's going to help you on your way to success. And in a way, I think we need to get back to believing like children. And I was thinking a bit about it, and I think, if we look at kids, and let's say they dress in a Hulk suit, the Incredible Hulk, whatever. For that moment, it's like they believe they are Incredible Hulk, and now they have all these powers and everything, or if of a princess dress or whatever. For a moment, they escape that, and I think our problems as adults is that we focus too much on our inabilities and our limitations and our situations, what's going on, because you can have this dream and you want to believe it that you will achieve it and get there. But then you start to think, but I don't know how to do this, or I don't have the money for it, or I don't have the time for it, or I don't know how I'm going to get there. But you have to start. Believe first that you, even if you don't know how you're going to do it, you need to believe that you're going to get there, and then you commit to get the necessary tools to do what you can do with what you have and learn the rest to get there, because it doesn't just stop at believing. Action, I mean, believing needs to go into action. And another example, I don't know if it was just because I was a kid, but I used somewhere my luck ran out. But when I was in primary school, I used to win a lot of competitions, and I don't know why, I just believed I would win it. And then, it's a prize for one person in the school. What it was once it was like a bunny teddy, a big one, and only one kid in the school could win it. But to win, you had to buy a hot dog for entry, and there were kids buying 10 hot dogs to get 10 entries, and I only bought one. And every time when there was a competition like that, I would tell my mom, I'm going to win it. I want that bunny and I'm going to win it. And I just believe it, and I said it, and every time I won.
But this is true for everyone, and I don't know if you know that the girl who married Prince William, since she was very little, she said she wants to marry him.
Really?
And she was a little girl, yes. So
I didn't know that.
and just happened that they went to the same school and they met. It wasn't, like a logistic,
Very well
planning
planned.
place. Or no, it was just because she had it in her heart. And talking about heart, I think most of the time what puts you off is not you, even you don't realize this. It's somebody. It's somebody who is the wrong person next to you. I don't know why, but that's the test. So you have to identify who is the person holding you back, who is the person who cannot hear the song in your heart. Because works like this. A real friend will know what you hold in your heart, will know that song even you forget it. If you have amnesia, they will remember your song, your passion. But somebody who is not your friend will never know, will never understand. They will speak a totally different language. And coming back to Muhammad Ali, who has been celebrated all over the world in the last couple of days, he said that it isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out. It's the pebble in your shoe.
Yes.
And this is so true, because it's always something that makes you uncomfortable, and that's the test. So if you can take your shoe off and go barefoot, or take your shoe off, take the pebble out and keep going, that's the test. That's the test of your heart. And you know what? One of his daughter was saying in an interview, actually, that he was very sick, but when he died, all his vital organs stopped except for his heart. His heart continued to beat for another half an hour.
Wow.
And that's the heart, and that's a man with a heart. And I know many people who are only heart. I know many people who won't stop because it's in their heart. It's something they hold in their heart, and if they hold it any longer, their heart is going to implode. They have to bring it out. It's the song in their heart.
Mm.
What is the key message for today, Mareli?
Whew. Okay, I think to be very cautious of what you let into your heart, because everything in your life springs from it. So you have to guard your heart above all things, and don't let anybody what anybody else thinks get into there, or anything that you carry with you from the past, and that pebbles in your shoes. Let it go, and you believe that you're destined for greatness and that you will be successful, because it's your right. Like Marina said, it's your birthright. Why not you?
Wow. Beautiful. From both of us, until next time, from the song in your heart to our heart, and from the song in our hearts to your heart, is goodbye.
Bye bye.